Hello everyone, in this video we're going to talk about how to do DGP, Daily Grammar Practice, for Tuesday. As you can see, I have the same sheet of paper that I had for Monday. I still have the labels that I used for Monday. It's important that I'm using the same sheet of paper because a lot of the labels that I have for the previous day are going to inform how I label for today. So the first thing we want to do is make sure we have our DGP help pages turned to the Tuesday section. And Tuesday we can see is for sentence parts and phrases. Now at the top of that section we have Tuesday order of operations. For Tuesday you don't necessarily have to go in this order, but it makes it so much easier if you go in this order that I have mapped out for you on the help pages. You can see the first thing we're going to look at is phrases. That's going to be prepositional phrases, gerund phrases, participle phrases, anything like that. Then we look for the simple predicate, that is the verb. We're going to label the verbs and whether they are transitive or intransitive. Then we're looking at the complements of those verbs. The simple subject will be next, along with the complete subject and the complete predicate. And then at the end, we're going to look and label our prep phrases to determine if they were adjective or adverb prep phrases. Now, again, step one is phrases. So we want to look at our sheet here. We don't have any phrases. We didn't have any prepositions or gerunds or participles. We just had nouns, adjectives, articles, stuff like that. There were no phrases, so we can move on to step two. Step two is simple predicate. We look at those verbs that we had on Monday. The main verb here was the action verb have. We're not worried about labeling the helping verb because it just goes along with the action verb. So we're going to look at have, and we're going to determine is have VT for transitive verb or VI for intransitive verb. If we scroll down under simple predicate, we can see a transitive verb takes a direct object. An intransitive verb does not take a direct object. So a quick way to determine that is if we look at our sentence, if we say our verb and then the word what, have what, if the sentence answers that question, typically that means you have a direct object. So if we say we will have what, we're looking for a noun or pronoun that answers that question. And in this case, year answers that question. So year is a noun or pronoun that follows an action verb and answers the question, have what? So have, since it has a direct object, it's a transitive verb, so we label it VT. And year, since it answers the question, have what? That's our direct object. Now that's our only main verb that we have. Again, we're not going to label helping verbs because they just go along with have, with the main verb. So we can move on to the next step. If we look at our order of operations, now we're looking for complements. Now the direct object would fall into that category. We don't have any intransitive verbs or linking verbs, so we don't have any complements in the sentence. So we can move on to step four. We're looking for the simple subject. We know what the verbs are, will, have. So we're asking ourselves, who or what will have? We're looking for a noun or pronoun that answers the question, who or what will have? We answers that question. So we is the simple subject. So we label it with a capital S to make it the simple subject. Moving on. Next step. Next step is complete subject, complete predicate. If we scroll down, we can see simple subject or complete subject. We're going to underline once. It's the simple subject plus its modifiers. So if we look at our sentence, we was our simple subject. So we know it's going to be underlined once. Now we just have to ask ourselves, does it have any modifiers to go along with it? The answer is no. So we is the simple subject, but it's also the complete subject. So we just underline the word we once. Now we're looking for the complete predicate. We see that the complete predicate, we underline it twice. It's the verb plus its modifiers, objects, and complements. So any modifiers or objects, that direct object, and its modifiers and everything that goes along with it, we're going to underline that twice. So if we go back to our sentence, we know our verbs are going to be underlined twice. We know year is going to be underlined twice because it's the direct object of those verbs. And a, wonderful, and school, they all modify year. So they're going to be underlined twice. So this entire section after we is the complete predicate. So we underline that whole section twice. Now if we go back to our order of operations, the next step is labeling prep phrases, either adjective or adverb prep phrases. In this case, we didn't have any prep phrases, so we are done. So that is Tuesday's DGP. It's real simple. It can get pretty complex, but as long as you follow along with your help pages and go through these order of operations, you will be just fine. That's all for today. We'll have videos for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday coming up next. Have a good day.